हमारा students today topic is determining order of chemical reaction. First of all, order of reaction, sum of power of concentration present in the rate law. First we will have about the zero order reaction. In a zero order reaction, rate is independent of the concentration as we discussed in the previous lecture. Let us consider a zero order reaction of the type A is directly proportional to the products. In this case, initial concentration of the A reactant is small a and the product is zero, because the initial concentration of A is not react or decompose to form the product. In this case, the initial concentration is A and product is zero. While when a reactant converts to the products, the final concentration is A minus X of the reactants and of the products is X, because X is unknown. So rate of a reaction is the rate of disappearance of A divided by time is equal to K molar concentration of A naught. A is for the concentration of the reactant, or dx over dt is equal to minus d into A minus S. A minus X is the final concentration over time is equal to K naught. A minus X raised to the power naught is equal to, that is equal on integration we will get K naught, that is equal to X over T, or X is equal to K naught T, where K naught is the rate constant of the for the zero order reaction and the unit of which is concentration per unit time. In a zero order reaction, the rate constant is equal to the rate of reaction at all concentrations. Now for the first order reaction, let us consider the first order reaction. These are the derivations. A converts to the products. So suppose that in the beginning reaction of the time t is equal to 0, that is the when no reactant converts into the products, its time is 0. The concentration of A is a mole per liter. If after time t, suppose that x moles of A has changed, the concentration of A is small a minus x. So we know that for the first order reaction, the rate of reaction dx over dt is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactants. So thus dx over dt is equal to k into A minus x. A minus X is the final concentration, A is the initial concentration as we given in the previous zero order reaction, or dx over A minus X is equal to K dt. On integration, the expression 1 becomes integration dx over A minus X. A minus X is the final concentration of the reactants is equal to integration of the K dt, or minus log A minus X is equal to kt plus I, where I is the constant of integration and the constant k may be evaluated by putting t is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0. Thus I is equal to minus log of A. A is the initial concentration of the reactant capital A. So substituting for I in equation 2, the log is equal to A over A minus X is equal to kt, or k is equal to 1 over t, that is equal to log of A over A minus X. So changing into common logarithm, k is equal to 2.303 divided by t log A over log log A over A minus X. So thus the values of the k or rate constant can be found by substituting the values of A and A minus X determined experimentally at time of interval after time t during the course of the experimentation or course of the reaction. So sometimes the integrated rate law in the following form is also can also be used. So k is equal to 2.303 T2 is the final time minus initial time is log A over A minus x1 divided by A minus x2, where x1 and x2 the amounts decomposed at time of intervals T1 and T2 respectively from the start of the experiment. Now for the second order reaction, let us take the second order reaction of the type 2A. Here is the 2A moles, two reactants that converts into the product. So suppose that the initial concentration of A, just as given in the previous two order of reaction, is a mole per liter, and small a initial concentration, and if after time t x moles of A have been reacted of the concentration, and of the A is small a minus x. So we know that for the such a second order reaction, the rate of the reaction is proportional to the square of the concentration of the reactants. So it becomes dx over dt k into A minus x. A minus x is the final concentration of the reactants, square for the two number of moles of the reactant A. Similarly, where k is the rate constant, rearranging equation above equation 1, and this equation we have dx over A minus x. A minus x becomes in the denominator is equal to k dt. On integration it gives 1 over A minus x is equal to kt plus I. I is the integration constant, and I can be evaluated by putting x is equal to 0 and t is equal to 0. So thus I is equal to 1 over A. This is the fourth equation, and substituting of for the I value from the fourth equation in the above equation 3, 1 over A minus x is equal to kt plus 1 over A. So kt is equal to, k is the rate constant and t is the time, 1 over A minus x minus 1 over A. So thus k is equal to 1 over t into x over x into A minus x. So this is the integrated rate equation for the second order reaction. Now for the third order reaction, let us consider a simple third order reaction. Here the three number of moles of the reactant A. So let initial concentration of A is small a mole per liter, and after time t x moles have been reacted, so therefore the concentration of A becomes A minus x, and the rate law may be written as dx over dt is equal to k A minus x cube raised to the power 3. So rearranging equation 1, we have dx over A minus x cube is equal to k dt. On integration, and it becomes 1 over 2 into A minus x square is equal to kt plus I. I is the integration constant, and I can be evaluated by putting x is equal to 0 and t is equal to 0. I is equal to 1 over 2a square. By substituting the values of I in equation 3, so we can write kt is equal to 1 over 2 into A minus x square minus 1 over 2a square. So therefore k is equal to 1 over t x into 2a minus x over 2a square into A minus x square. So this is the final equation, integrated equation for the third order. Now very important, units of the rate constant. The units of rate constant for different orders of the reactions, such as 0 order, first order, second order and third order are different. So units of first 0 order rate constant. So for a 0 order rate constant, the k is given in the expression. So k is equal to d, a molar concentration of A over dt is equal to mole per liter is for the initial A molar concentration multiplied by 1 over time. So thus the units of k are moles per liter per time. So this time may be in seconds or minutes or days or years. So for the first order reaction, the rate constant for the first order is equal to, from the equation, k is the rate constant is equal to 2.303 divided by time into log over A naught. A naught is the initial concentration, and after time t is the A for the AT is the final concentration. So thus the rate constant for the first order reaction is independent because A naught over AT is both the concentrations, both are cancel the effect of each other. So thus it has the units, that is answer is per time. Now for the second order, it has the greater equations. The rate constant for the second order is expressed as K is equal to 1 over T multiplied by X over A naught into A naught minus X. So X is the concentration, and A naught is also the concentration, and A naught minus X is also the concentrations multiplied by 1 over time. So 1 over concentration multiplied by 1 over time. So 1 over mole per liter multiplied by 1 over time. So it has the per mole. Mole is in the denominator and liter becomes in the denominator per time. So thus unit of K for the second order are per mole liter per time. For the third order rate equation, rate constant, the rate constant of the third order is K is equal to 1 over T X into 2A minus X divided by 2A square into A minus X square. So concentration, X has the concentration, 2A minus X also the concentration, 2A square is also the concentration square, and A minus X square is also the concentration multiplied by 1 over time. So 1 over both two concentration in the denominator cancels with the concentration square. So 1 over concentration squares multiplied by 1 over time. So 1 over mole per liter square multiplied by 1 over time. So thus the units of K for the third order reaction are per mole square, liter square per time. So these are the units of the rate constant. Now the question is how to determine the order of reactions. There are the 5 methods used for the determining order of reactions. Number 1, using integrated rate equation. Number 2, graphical method. Number 3, the using half-life period. And number 4 is the differential method. And number 5 is the Ostwald's isolation method. Now we first find the by using integrated rate equations. There are different integrated rate equations for the zero order, first order, second order, and third order, and the reaction under study is performed by taking different initial concentrations of the reactant small a and noting the final concentration A minus X. So after a regular time of interval, the experimental values of A minus X, and T are then substituted into the integrated rate equation for zero order, first order, second order, and third order reactions. And the rate equation, which yields a constant value of K, correspond to the correct order of the reaction. So this method of ascertaining the order of a reaction is essentially a method of hit and trial method, but was the first to be employed. It is still used extensively to find the order of the simple reactions. Now, number second is the graphical method. In this we plot the graph for a reaction. The type A is converts to the products, so we can determine the reaction order by seeing whether a graph of the data is first fits one for the integrated rate equations. In case of first order, we have already derived the integrated rate equation for the first order is log A divided by A minus X is equal to KT. So simplifying, it becomes log A minus X is equal to minus KT plus log of A. Here y in the simple equation, a linear equation, y is equal to mx plus b. Y is the log A minus X, mx is the KT, X is the T, and minus K is the M. Here is the slope becomes the M become a minus K, minus rate constant, and plus P. So thus the two variables in the first order rate equation are log A over A minus X and T. So hence if log A over A minus X is plotted against T, so a straight line equation is obtained and the corresponding direction is the first order. However, the curve is obtained, the direction curve obtained, the reaction such type of curve now obtained, it is not the first order reaction. Now we take the graph by here, applying here. This is the for the reaction for the first order, and here the slope from concentration decrease with time, and the rate constant becomes the negative. And for the second order reactions, here by applying here, in case of second order, the second order rate equation can be written 1 over a minus x is equal to kt plus 1 over a. Y is the 1 over a minus x, and kt, k is the slope. It is here the slope is positive, and with the time the concentrations increases. 1 over a is the that is the intercept. So this is the equation of straight line y is equal to mx plus b. Here the two variables are 1 over a minus x and t. Thus 1 over a minus x is plotted against t. So we get a straight line, and the reaction is second order. In case of a curve, if the curve is obtained, and then the reaction is means not straight line, that is not second order. Now here, seeing here, there is a second part of second order. It is the concentration 1 over a minus x increases with respect to that increase in time. So the reaction is here the slope is positive, and the reaction is second order. Now by applying this for the similarly for the third order, we can also plot the graph. Now the second method is that is the third method, using half-life period. Two separate experiments, experiment number 1 and experiment number 2, are performed by taking different initial concentration of the reactants 2 times of interval. The progress of the reaction in each case is recorded by analysis. When the initial concentration is reduced to 1/2, the time is noted. Now let the initial concentration in the two experiments be A1 and A2. A1 for the first molar concentration for the first, and A2 molar concentration for the second order. So while times for completion of the half change are T1 for the first and T2 for the second respectively. So calculation of order of reaction, we know that the half-life period for a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the A molar concentration. So we also know that half-life is directly proportional to 1 over A. It is for the second order, and for the third order 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1, that is 2, therefore the third order, and for the nth order is n minus 1. So substituting the values of initial concentration of the half-life periods from the two experiments, so we have T1 is directly proportional 1 over A1. A1 is the for the first experiment into n minus 1, and T1 is directly proportional to the 1 over A2. T2 is directly proportional to the 1 over A2 into n minus 1, and the ratio T2 over T1 is A1 over A2 raised to the power n minus 1, because n minus 1 is the common for the nth order. N minus 1 log into A2 over A1 is equal to log T2 over T1. So solving order of reaction for the n is equal to 1 plus log T1 over T2 divided by log A2 over A1. And the fourth method is a differential method. This method was suggested by Van 't Hoff, and therefore it is called as Van 't Hoff's differential method. According to this, the rate of the reaction of the nth order is proportional to the nth power of concentration. So minus dC over dt is equal to K. C is the concentration raised to the power n, where C is the concentration at any instant. If in the two experiments performed, for example C1 and C2 are the concentrations, one for the first and the second initial concentration. So dC1 over dt is equal to Kc1 and power to the n. This is the first equation. Minus dC2 divided by time is equal to Kc2 raised to the power n. Taking logs of the expression number 1 and 2, we can get log minus dC1 over dt is equal to log K plus n log of C1. Similarly, log minus dC2 divided by dt is equal to log K plus n log C2. So on subtracting equation 4 for the second from the third, we can get n is equal to log dC1 minus dC1 over dt minus into minus dc2 divided by dt divided by log c1 minus c2. To find n minus dc over dt in the two experiments, the is determined by plotting concentrations against time t. The slope dc over dt at a given time of interval is measured by drawing tangents using the values of slope minus dc1 over dt and minus dc2 over dt in equation 5, and n can be calculated. Now the last method is the Ostwald's isolation method. This method is employed in determining the order of complicated reactions by isolating one of the reactants so far its influence on the rate of reaction is concerned. So suppose the reaction under concentration is A plus B plus C. These are the three reactants, and the order of reaction with respect to A, B and C is determined. So for the determination of the order of a reaction with respect to A, B and C are taken in a large excess so that their concentrations are not affected during the reactions. The order of reaction is then determined by using any of the methods described earlier. Likewise, the order of the reaction with respect to B and C is determined if Na, Nb and C are the order of the reaction with respect to A, B and C. The order of the reaction N is given by the expression N is equal to Na plus Nb plus Nc. This is the end of the lecture.